What's up, Guiding Bolt fans? This is Nick, and as you know, it is the day after the release of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. So I just got my book today. Thank you to Amazon for getting it to me a day after it released. I'm pretty pumped about that. As you can see, I've already taken it out of the plastic and I've taken the map out of it. I just wanted to give you a real quick view of the map on both sides, just because I didn't see anything out there yet. And I'm always interested to see what the map has to offer, because if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I like to take the maps out and have them laminated. So this is actually the one from Tomb of Annihilation, the map of Schult. So I went and got this laminated at Office Depot. I think it was like $6 and some change. I know it was less than 10 though. And I mean, it holds up really well. You can use wet and dry erase marker on it. It's just awesome. So I always recommend getting the one in the book laminated. If you're one of those people that likes to keep it intact, just buy 2 books. Get this one laminated, and then you'll have a book to use, and then one that you can use for, or just keep for your collection. So anyways, let me go ahead and move this book off to the side, and I'll give you a real quick view of the map here. Actually, before we look at that, let's look at this map first. We're gonna go zoom in a little bit. Hopefully you can make this out on the camera. I know sometimes I zoom in too far or not enough, but this is the map of Faerun, the full map of Faerun, and up here at the very tip top is Icewind Dale. So that's where we're going to be taking a look at. It doesn't even say anything else up in there, but that's what this whole map is right here. So let's go ahead and move that off to the side. So this is the spine of the world right here, which is, again, we'll just set this up here in the corner. That's the piece that's coming right along here in this map. And right here is the trail that kind of leads up into the Icewind Dale area. So this is 10 trail coming from the south up into Icewind Dale. And if you've read any of the books or descriptions and other source material, usually the first thing that you see when you kind of enter this area is Kelvin's Cairn up there. So you can see that right there on the map. Right in this area is the 10 Towns region. So we have the couple of the 3 water sources. There's Mer Dwaldon, and I'm probably butchering these names. I'll never be good at pronouncing fantasy names. It's just one of my weaknesses. Here is Red Waters. Here is Lac Dinashir. So those are the 3 main water sources that are in this area. As far as the locations, we'll just go through and show you each one of the towns real quick. This is Dugan's Hole. That's the looks to be the southernmost town. Goodmead. Then going over here to the east, we have, well, obviously it's the east because this is the East Haven. We have the two different castle kind of locations, or stronghold locations. This is Caer Dineval and Caer Koning. We already talked about Kelvin's Cairn right there. So if we go back over this way and just follow the trail north, the first town, or actually it's kind of a fort, I guess, fort/town, is Bryn Chandra, and this is the main kind of trading outpost within the region. Kind of all the other towns in the area rely on basically fishing and stuff like that to survive, where this location right here relies primarily on trade. So this is probably a good starting point for the PCs, or for the characters to start in, just because a lot of what they need is going to be there. If you want to make it a little more little harder on them, then you can go with one of the other locations. And in the book it tells you about the different amenities that each one of the towns have, as far as like comfort and service and stuff like that. So there's Bryn Chandra, there's Targos, Bremen, Tremeline, and last but not least is Lonely Wood. The rest of the map is just kind of exactly, I guess, what you would expect from Icewind Dale. Just a massive chunk of ice and rock. You can see all the rest of it is just kind of open, so you have a lot of room with the rest of this map to kind of insert your own little ideas and stuff like that. And I have a resource that I'm going to show you here to help you kind of build that out additionally, if you want to keep this campaign going or add a little more than what's already there. So up here is the Sea of Moving Ice. Over here to the right, or the far east, is the Redhead Glacier. So that's where a lot of the kind of the nomads live. There's different tribes and stuff that are up in that area. And then down here is just kind of the key for the map. So that is a look at this side of the map. We're going to go ahead and flip it over here. I'm going to try to do this with one hand. Almost got it. 75% of the way there. All right. So on the reverse side, this is basically just a little little maps of all the different towns. So I'm not going to really talk too much about all these, but I'll just give you a quick view of each one of them. So there's Bryn Chandra. Again, that is the main trade town. You can see it's kind of, this is the most fortified town, so like if stuff was really going down in Icewind Dale, this is where a lot of the other towns would retreat to, just because it's the most heavily fortified. It's got a big kind of rampart and dual wall built all the way around it. Here's East Haven. And we'll just go through and look at each one of these littler towns, just so you have an idea of what you're working with. Bremen, Dugan's Hole, Goodmead, and then the two kind of stronghold areas. And this one, the main stronghold is still intact. In this one, you can see it right there, whereas in this one, it's kind of been reduced to rubble over the years. So that is the reverse side of the map. I'm going to keep this video short, but I just did want to give you a couple of resources to look at while you're preparing to run this adventure for your players. So the two different resources that I want to call out here are the Sword Coast Adventure Guide, just because obviously you're going to be in the Sword Coast area. There isn't a whole lot in here that pertains specifically to this, but I've marked a couple of the pages. And then this, if you haven't seen this before, is going to be an absolute must for preparing for this, in my opinion. I got a couple of pages marked here. I just want to go through and show you a couple of things in here, but this is going to be an awesome resource. It's been, I can't even remember the last time I looked through this, so I need to do a lot of refreshing myself, but I know there's a lot of good stuff in here. So the Sword Coast Adventure Guide, let me just open this up. First thing I wanted to point out right here is it does talk about Oriel in here. Which obviously is the Frostmaiden. So there's a little couple of paragraphs right there. I'm not going to read that to you, but this is on page 25 of the Sword Coast Adventure Guide, and then you also have the symbol of Oriel right there. So maybe, I don't know, maybe there's some cultists and stuff like that walking around with one of these necklaces on, so that might be a way that the PCs can identify them. You can drop some hints and stuff like that as they adventure. The other page that I wanted to call out here is page 98, and this just gives you a few paragraphs on Icewind Dale, 10 towns, the Redhead Barbarians, and then the dwarves in the area. So that's going to be obviously Clan Battlehammer, the Duergar, and whatever else is in that area. So couple of useful things in there. Obviously there's a lot of other areas. It's going to talk about Luskan in here, and Luskan, actually, I'm pretty sure there is a stronghold. Oh, ignore my rats, they're fighting. That's Rassitar in Rizzo. You may recognize Rassitar from one of the Drist books, the Were-Rat, so that's where he got his name. So hopefully they'll calm down here so I can finish shooting this. So again, that's the Sword Coast Adventure Guide. Read up on Luskan, because I'm pretty sure somewhere it talks about there being a temple for the Frostmaiden there. Now, the Frostburn book. Let's crack this baby open. Now, Frostburn, I'm just going to read this little paragraph here on the intro to give you an idea of what this is. It's not a specific area, which you'll hear here in just a second. So it says the term Frostville refers to any area, no matter how small or large, dominated by a combination of ice, snow, and extreme cold, much like the Underdark. So this is obviously this is referring to Icewind Dale. There isn't any place that fits the description better. So this is why this is going to be such an awesome resource here. So is there a, let's see here. I'm just going to look at the table of contents real quick. So there is, the first section just talks all about the Frostfell, the different environments, different hazards in the area, supernatural perils. So you're going to be able to really add additional flavor to your campaign if you pick this up. There is the races and classes and prestige classes. Obviously that's not going to really pertain. Equipment, you can probably pick out some ideas out of there for additional items, magic items and stuff like that. Maybe if there's some of the trinkets, if you want to give those magical properties, maybe check out this area to see if you can get any ideas out of there. Magic of the Frostfell, you could check that out and see if there's any spells out of there that you want to incorporate. The monsters of Frostfell, there's already, I think there was like 29, maybe 30 plus additional monsters in the Rime with the Frostmaiden book, so you already have a lot to work with, but if you need anything additional, there's a whole large section here talking about additional monsters that you can incorporate in, and we'll actually take a look at a couple of them I think I marked. And then another good piece is going to be the adventure site. So this is what I was talking about on the, oh, I'm not going to flip that back over, but on the other side of the map where you have that massive open area, you can get some additional areas to use out of that spot right there. So enough blabbing, let's take a quick look here and see what I marked. So this thing right here, the snowflake lichen, I thought this was pretty cool, so I'm just going to read this to you real quick as well. Snowflake lichen is a magical plant that resembles snow and is commonly found on rocky surfaces. Its slow-acting drain of heat numbs the fingers and feet of those passing over its terrain, causing climbers to slip and fall, and sometimes causing mounts or wanderers to freeze and die in large areas of snowflake lichen, creating snowflake graveyards. I mean, how cool would that be? Your adventuring party is just walking along out in the wilderness, just maybe a blizzard finally ends, and then they look out over this vast, just kind of field of just frozen people. It almost looks like it almost looked like a Medusa or something came through there. So anyways, check that out, pretty cool. There's tons of other good stuff in here. Cold Fire, I haven't read that yet, but I imagine that's probably pretty cool. What else do we got? Oh, I just wanted to show you, I got a nasty glare here, but check out this picture. There's a big old frost giant there, a couple of what I assume are just gigantic winter wolves. That's a cool art page, I like that. Pretty sure I marked that for myself, not necessarily for you guys, because I just liked the art there. Let's see here, what else do we got? Oh, I thought this was cool. So this is a Rimefire Eidolon, and I'm not sure, I don't remember seeing this in the new module, the specific monster, but I thought this might be kind of cool to maybe, if you wanted to soup up one of the Frostmaiden's forms instead of just that, the Tomb of Winter or whatever it's called. I'm not exactly sure what all it has for properties and abilities and so on, but I thought this might be a good way to kind of soup that up and give it a little extra flavor. So I'll be definitely checking this thing out, because it looks exactly like the Tomb of Winter, at least to me it does. And what else do we got? Oh, this is the another picture that I marked for myself. So this is the Ice Razor City, and I think this would be cool to maybe you can have this like floating out in the sea of ice. Is that what it was called? The endless. Here we go. The sea of moving ice, just maybe like floating on one of those bergs out there. Your players see this thing floating out there. I mean, obviously you have to go check it out, right? So it gives you that awesome picture first off, and then as you flip through here, somewhere there is, here we go. So there it kind of gives you the ground floor of the palace. It's got room descriptions and stuff like that, so you can basically just take this and tailor it to your needs. So check out this book. I think it's going to be an amazing resource for running this campaign, and I cannot wait to jump into it further. I'll be putting out additional videos as I kind of plug through the book. We're going to be running this for just the home crew to get started, but then we'll probably move into using it for my other crew as well. So really looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast. Again, I'll be putting out additional content, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Check back weekly, always putting out new content, and I'm going to keep this short, so thanks for watching, and until next time.